Welcome to class. Welcome to class. I'm sleepy. It's past my bedtime. But I really want to record a video today. Might record one tomorrow. I doubt it, but we'll see. Anyways, yeah, I had intentions on, taking a little deep dive into this book. I'll explain it in a minute. But yeah, I'm too tired for all that right now. So there was something else that I wanted to talk about, which is I don't know if I'm gonna title this video this, but basically how I learned how to appreciate people, especially on a romantic level. So yeah. Now the first thing is my little book. I'm going to explain it more in the healing. Well, yeah, we'll get more into it in the healing video. But basically, when I was going through my little healing chamber process, incubation period, I did talk about it and I kind of showed how I had all these different books that I had different things written in. I want it all in one book, one place. I don't need 99 different books laying around. So, yeah, I'm basically just rewriting everything into here. So, last video, I talked about some of my regrets and some of the lessons learned. Now, I never talked about the main regret that I had. And it's not really, I'm not talking about it because of that whole thing. I'm talking about it because the lesson is very much relevant. And I do want to share that. Plus, some things is not always in the past. Not coding. But not talking about him. So yeah, I'm not really gonna get into details about the regret and all that because it doesn't matter. It's very irrelevant at this point. But yeah. So one thing while I was writing in this book, one thing that I do want to write for now is like a current thing is that I noticed that I talked a lot about being a good woman. And I think that I'm a really good woman now. But in the past, was I? No. And let me tell you, it's not that I was a bad person or anything. It was just, I didn't know how to control my emotions. I didn't know anything. And I was, I think I mentioned it in the last video. I was very insecure, very jealous. I had all these different problems. And from what I know, when you trying to, get to know somebody, whatever, you really just add more confusion in somebody else's life rather than peace. And yeah, my behavior was very childish. It was a lot of things that I did. Like for instance, I will say this about the regret. Uh long story short, not getting into all the details, but long story short, I was basically playing games the last couple of months that he was around. And, obviously I was playing games, not really, I didn't know that he was leaving at the time. And my feelings were hurt, acting like a child, doing childish things, trying to make him feel some type of way. And also trying to pretend and act like I don't care about him at the same time. So then it's like when I found out that, and mind you, this went on for 3 months maybe, and it stopped maybe like 2 weeks before he left. And then I had found out that, oh, he's leaving. And when I found out that he was leaving, it was like the week of. So yeah, I had a lot of regrets during that time, especially being that I spent so long trying to pretend like I didn't care. And then it's like, oh, now he's leaving and you're crying behind somebody that you claim that you didn't really care for in the first place. So yeah, that really had ate me up. And I learned through that, don't play with people. Do not play with people. If you care about somebody, you're not losing nothing by saying that. You're not losing nothing by showing that. And, a truth that I know is that I'd rather be open, be honest, and tell somebody how I feel now versus keep my mouth closed and then miss out on the opportunity. Maturity and growth. Not gonna talk about that one yet. Oh yeah, I spent so much time trying to pretend that I didn't care, but when he left, I couldn't help but think about all the times that I could have been more vulnerable. That's like the one thing that I was terrified of, being open, being vulnerable. And when he left, because I was actually looking, because like I said, I'm trying to get all my stuff in one place, and that's another reason why I'm trying to like eliminate stuff, is because a lot of things that I wrote included him, and I'm just trying to, you know. And I want the past to be the past, but I want to remember the lessons, basically. So it was something that I wrote where it was saying, when I like, and this was actually August of 2023 that I wrote this. It was something about how when he was here, basically, I used to like walk past him, not speak to him and all of that. And then it's like now that he was gone and I'm mourning, it was more like, oh, I would give anything to be able to have that opportunity and actually do something with it. So I would think like, I walked past him all those different times. What would have had, like, what was so bad about just being able to say, hey, how you doing? Acknowledge him, that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, I learned not to play games with people no more. And there ain't nothing wrong with being vulnerable, because you either be open and build something with somebody, or keep hiding behind a wall and keep going through the same thing over and over again. And I don't want to go through that again. Then I think I said it in the last video. Don't let pride and ego have more value than a person. And don't let their mistake and the hurt that they caused you be more important than a person himself. So yeah, I don't really think I need to explain that, but yeah, I don't think I really need to explain that. Then I said, spend time trying to ignore and downplay things and then end up devastated when the inevitable happens. Basically, just explain that. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I wasn't a good woman back then. The reasons for my actions was because I was insecure and broken. It doesn't change the fact that I disrupted and added confusion and potential misery to somebody else's life. And let me tell you, I am not finna, open a book. So I did summarize some of my little journals on the little note cards. So something that I wrote in the journal was, I was used to seeing men being lustful behind women and mistake it for more. I mistook it for more. I've always felt inadequate in comparison. This is the past me talking. I've always felt inadequate in comparison to other women because they are usually where men focus their lustfulness to. It made me feel unworthy because of lack of pursuance. I get so emotional sometimes when I read this stuff. Not now, but I was earlier. Another one, I said, I used to be crazy and wanted control because of fear that whatever guy I'm interested in would choose another woman over me. I couldn't fathom genuinely being liked, so I constantly feared another woman would easily take whoever's attention off of me. That fear and insecurity made it extremely difficult to build with and truly get to know a man. It's easy / common to tell yourself that the right guy will choose you, and or another woman only got chosen because she's easier. But that's just a pick me up that only gets harder to believe as time goes on. And then I'm gonna talk about it in a healing video more. But being overlooked is a blessing. It is. And then I said, without knowing God's involvement, I started to over self analyze, and I picked myself apart trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And when I was writing that, I titled it Healing Insecurities. I was really messed up. I was messed up. Then it was another one. that said I wasn't good enough in the past, so why would I be now? That kind of stuff just makes me. I also wrote that I felt that being a good woman was pointless. A lot of men want a biblical wife when it matters, but they also want her to have some spirit of a whore for you to even be a girlfriend, yet alone a wife. And yeah, we already kind of talked about that in the video before. Got more to say about that. But anyways, then there was one more. Oh, I read this one already. So yeah, I had all of these problems. Like I said, I was insecure, I was broken. Doesn't change the fact that I disrupted and added confusion and potential misery to somebody else's life. So yeah, my behavior during that time did not really make me a good person, a good woman at all. And you can't really be, upset when somebody doesn't want to be bothered with you. Oh yeah. And then I said journaling in my blue book, the one that I threw away. And just journaling in general, it helped me to be able to face my own feelings and able to communicate things to myself. So something that I learned when I was journaling and stuff during that time is, like I said, scared to be vulnerable. So I used to hide behind anger, basically, because I feel like there's no vulnerability, there's no real weakness being displayed when you're mad. So it was a time I remember I was like really mad about something that happened like 2 years ago. And then, I started writing stuff down and I realized I'm not really mad about that foolishness. I'm really just scared. So I think that, I'm not going to say I think, I know that being able to admit that to myself, being able to address my feelings properly with myself makes me able to say, okay, to somebody, look, this is the problem, and act accordingly. Don't just go trying to have a temper tantrum. Don't just go trying to start an argument, trying to be petty, that kind of stuff. Plus, I really want to be able to have a meaningful relationship, not something that's just scratching the surface. So I want to be able to have those difficult conversations. And I also feel like it would mean a lot more to a person if you could say, I'm scared that you're going to leave me, or I'm insecure because I think you might be losing interest and stuff like that. Versus, well, why are you always talking to that girl? And you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And me personally, like I said, just knowing it really had hurt me because, like I said, I know that my mistakes and the things that I did during that time was just basically me going off of my emotions, me being childish, me being petty. And it's just like, when it's all said and done, was it worth it? No. So I learned to appreciate, but don't suffocate. Let me see. Let me make sure I really covered everything because it's most stuff I'm gonna talk about in another video, the healing video. And I guess I can say, since it's only what, 13 minutes. Um. Oh yeah. I said when it comes to women, everybody already knows that a lot of people try to make it seem like we these perfect angels. No, we're not. No, we are not. And a lot of people, when you hurt or whatever happened, a lot of people be so quick to be like, oh, you deserve this, you deserve that. Maybe you got exactly what you deserved. And then it's a lot of men who will be like, telling you, I would deal with you, and I don't think you're a bad person or whatever. Baby, you didn't deal with me during that time, so you can't say anything. Yeah. So I think that's mostly it. I forgot what I was going to say before I started reading it. But yeah. I took a video of me and Taz, and I'm gonna attach that to the end of this clip. And then that's gonna be the end of class, and hopefully, I record a video tomorrow. We'll see. Excuse all the headers flying all over the place, but I just wanted to show y'all why I have them. One of the class pets. This is Taz, aka Nathaniel, aka the one that swears he's the king of the castle. Yeah, him just was a little upset. Needed a little love. You know how it is. But yeah, I just wanted to show that they were alive. They're okay. They're very healthy. Still tormenting me. I think they what 3 years old now. 2? No, I think they might be 3.